What's up, everybody? It's your boy Code1 aka Aiden, and today I would like to talk to you about who will qualify out of the last 16 of the Champions League. Now, before we get started, I am by no means an expert in every single team that are in the last 16, but I do feel like I have a good amount of knowledge on the teams, and I'd like to share who I personally think will qualify out of everybody in the Champions League. It's a big honour for a lot of teams to be in the Champions League, let alone the last 16 qualifying through their groups. So these teams do have something to be proud of, but a lot of these teams are very big teams that have the ambition to win the Champions League. And I believe that a lot of them, there are many opportunities for a lot of teams to win the Champions League, whether that's an upset or whether it's a favourite. Everybody has a good chance at this stage, and let's see what happens. Now let's get started with the first team. First teams, would be Borussia Dortmund versus PSG. Now, I am a big fan of Borussia Dortmund, but the problem with their team, and it's been like this for many years, they cannot keep their best players. Every single time that they seem to have things going and they're connecting the pieces and they have these pieces and they're looking good, they can win the Bundesliga and all of that, but they just cannot seem to keep them at the club. They either go to Bayern or they just go to another big team, and it sucks for them, really. I'm not sure if it's a money issue on Dortmund's part. They want to get the max money possible, or their players simply just don't want to stay there. But whatever the case may be, I think it's a big problem for them. And yeah, they're a good team. They could potentially win this game, the two games, but unfortunately I believe that PSG will come through. PSG, for some reason, they're the team that just never ever seems to make it past the quarterfinals, and when you look at their team, you wonder to yourself, does this team not make it through? Man United did a major upset on them last year, but besides that, their team is way too good to not be trying to win the whole thing, and unfortunately they just seem to never get the job done. I'm pretty sure, or my reasoning behind it is the league that they play in. I think that they play a lot of pretty bad teams, and then when it comes to the bright lights, they're just not ready for it. But when it comes to this matchup, I think PSG will edge it. I do not think this will be a very close matchup, but I think PSG will definitely win this one. Now let's go to Atalanta and Valencia. Now, I do not know much about these two teams, but I do believe that Valencia will win this just based on pure understanding of both of the teams. Not really great, but I do know more about Valencia than I do about Atalanta. So I'm going to just go with Valencia on that one. Not really too much to say. I know Valencia do have some pretty solid players, and they are also not doing too well. They're doing alright in their league, so we'll see how everything goes on that end. Next matchup will be Lyon and Juventus. Now, I think Lyon, or just Lyon, is a fairly good team, and I think they can provide a decent challenge for Juventus, but unfortunately, that's a potential. I think Juventus have this in the bag. I think it's going to be fairly simple, fairly easy. I remember last year with Lyon, I'm pretty sure they took it to Barcelona for one of the games, but then the other one, Barcelona ran away with it. I feel like similar thing is going to happen here with Juventus, and I mean, you kind of feel bad, but at the same time, everyone expects Juventus to win that one, so that's who I'm going to go with. Juventus, Ronaldo, they're going to take it home. Next up, we've got Tottenham and Leipzig. I think if there is an upset that can happen, it's probably this game, maybe with another one that I'll talk about later, but I am going to go with Tottenham. I think Jose Mourinho, when it comes to cup games, is one of the better managers in the world. I think that he knows how to set up a team right, and The only thing I can negatively say about Tottenham is they haven't won a trophy in what, nearly 10 years, maybe more, and that's going to be haunting them. That's going to be haunting them, and they are susceptible for losing games against smaller teams. Seen in the Premier League, away is going to be a big problem for them. They cannot find an away win to save their life at the moment. I don't really know much about Leipzig. I do know they're a good team in the Bundesliga, but players-wise and all of that, I'm not too sure about. So I'm going to stick with what I know, and I'm thinking Tottenham are going to take this, but I don't think it's going to be very easy at all for them. I think it's going to be closer than a lot of people think, and we'll just see how that one goes. Napoli and Barcelona. This one is, of course, everybody's going to predict that Barcelona is going to win this game. I think this matchup is very, very, very close, closer than a lot of people would probably think. Barcelona is doing very well in their league, and Napoli's doing alright as well. Napoli do have a team that you think that if they can just strike you at any given point, they can have a chance. But Barcelona, it seems like every year Barcelona is the same team. They just have so much passing ability. They pass around you. They make you look like fools trying to chase the ball constantly. And I think they're going to edge this out as well. I think Barcelona will qualify. I'm going to pull for Napoli here just because I really do like Napoli. But if I would be stupid, I'd be a fool to go against Barcelona, especially at this early stage. Now let's go for Chelsea and Bayern. Now this is another thing that I'm going to say could potentially be an upset victory for Chelsea. I think the favourites are obviously Bayern Munich, and I will go for Bayern Munich, but I just want to give my reasonings because I watch a lot of Chelsea. I keep up with Bayern a lot. I know these two teams the most probably out of every team in the Champions League, and I do believe Bayern are very susceptible and they can easily concede goals, whatever the reason may be. They tend to concede goals all the time, and I think facing a Premier League side, Bayern Munich, they can struggle, but if history is going to repeat itself, Bayern Munich versus Premier League teams, it's almost funny to think about what they do to Premier League teams. They've done it to Tottenham, who many people may say are a better team than Chelsea, and they've done it to Arsenal, who no one will say are a better team than Chelsea, but you can think what you want. But this, I think that if Chelsea play the formation that they're playing right now with the three at the back, make it really hard because Lewandowski is probably having the best season of his career, probably one of the best seasons for a striker in quite a while. But the main goal, I think, for Chelsea is to keep Lewandowski quiet, and then they can have a good chance to win this. But I'm going to go with Bayern. Unfortunately, I think Chelsea are too young and inexperienced. I know a lot of people say that, and they do tend to prove people wrong, so hopefully they can prove me wrong. But I think Chelsea are a very inexperienced side, and maybe when it comes to the final moments of a game, the experience might shine through. But one thing I know about watching Chelsea is that Frank Lampard is a good manager, and they need to be very careful because when they change up their game plans, they can affect the game very, very well. So hopefully that could be a very good series. I'm going to be very, very intrigued with that one. So we've got Real Madrid and Manchester City. I think this is going to be very intense as well. I think this is probably going to be the matchup of the round. And I mean, Real Madrid and Man City, they're kind of both struggling, but Man City is due to big injuries to their defense that you could potentially see them struggling. And they're going to have centre backs coming back by the time the games are played. So if not everything goes right for them, I see Man City winning this. It's going to be very close. I can honestly see this going to penalties if anything, but I do think Manchester City will take it. This is extremely close, and honestly, I'm just making a pretty wild guess, but I think Manchester City can take this. I think they're going to be very fast for Real Madrid. Real Madrid's midfield is not as quick, but they're very, very effective, and we'll see what happens with that. We've also got Liverpool and Atletico Madrid. I think Liverpool will win this. I think Atletico Madrid, losing Griezmann is going to be a big loss for them. I think Liverpool can easily win this, and I believe I have said every team. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Again, this is This is obviously not a guarantee that's going to happen, but just based on what I know, based on what I've seen, and based on teams that are struggling and teams that are not struggling, teams that are doing well, potential upsets, I think that everything I've said will hopefully, well, not hopefully, because I don't really want Man City or Liverpool to win, but will probably happen. If not, oh well, better excitement. I want to thank you for watching, and peace.